This video is going to discuss mountain building and the different types of mountains and how they are formed. Living in Saskatchewan, we don't often get a chance to see mountains. Unless you leave the province, we usually see flat or rolling hills. However, we do know that in different parts of our country and in different parts of the world, mountains do exist. So what are mountains? Well, basically, they're a part of the Earth's surface that is much higher than the land around it. How do scientists explain how mountains are built? Well, it would be highly unlikely that you would wake up one morning, as this person did in this lovely drawing, and say, "Oh my goodness, there's a mountain outside my window." Mountain building takes millions of years. Scientists have identified several ways that mountains can be built, and the ones that we are going to explore are through faults, folding, and volcanoes. Most mountains are created by a combination of folding and faulting. How are folded mountains formed? Rocks can fold when they have been softened by heat and pressure. The rocks are not melted, but they are heated hot enough so that they are softened. So in converging boundaries or converging plate boundaries, that's where we find folding mountains, usually. So these two plates here are converging, meaning they're going together. As the plates collide, the heat and pressure cause the rocks to wrinkle and fold. So as you see here, the plates are starting to wrinkle and fold up. Folded mountains can be recognized when you look at the rock formations and the layers of the rock. The layers of the rock are wrinkled. So you'll see here how it looks wrinkly. So you'll see almost, here's your mountain, and you'll see that there's wrinkles or folds in the mountains. The next type of mountain that we're going to explore are fault mountains. So how are fault mountains formed? Faults occur when pressure on the earth is too great and the earth breaks or cracks. Some mountains are created when the land slides up or down along fault lines. So in this picture, here are fault lines, and what's happening is there's cracks along the ground, and these plates are shifting up or down, and it creates a different type of mountain. When you look at fault mountains, you can recognize these by looking at the layers of the rocks. You'll be able to clearly see that part of the rock has shifted up or down and that the layers don't match up along the fault line. So in this picture, you'll notice that the gray layer is much higher than the gray layer in the underground. And those are the kind of striations that you'll see in the fault mountains. The last type of mountain building that we are going to discuss is volcanic mountains. How are volcanic mountains formed? Well, these mountains are formed when there are divergent plate boundaries. So again, divergent means going away. So here are two plates, and there's a divergent boundary. They're moving away from each other. As these plates move away from each other, magma rises from the mantle to fill the rift, creating a mountain ridge. So this volcanic mountain is occurring under the ocean. So these would be like the islands of Hawaii, for instance. They are volcanic mountains that have been created. Mountains formed by volcanoes can be recognized if the rocks are volcanic rock and are located at the ridges. In all three of the types of mountains that we've discussed, erosion also plays a part in forming the mountains as well. We know that melting of glaciers can strip the land and change the form of the mountains as well. In the next activity, what we're going to do is you're going to look at the three major forms of mountain building, and what I would like you to do is watch the video, and then you're going to draw an image of what the mountain or how the mountain was created.